And if anything, my child is not returnable. So this is by far the hardest video James and I have ever publicly had to make. But before I get into the video, I did just want to say thank you to how amazing our viewers have been. We have some viewers who have been just like so incredibly kind and respectful of our son's privacy. I just want to say thank you. Like, that really got me through some really hard times, and I just want to say thanks. Like, you have no idea what that means to me, and some of the special messages that you've sent. Like, just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I can't say enough how hard Micah has tried throughout this entire journey, and the amount of effort she's put into this and helping Huxley as much as she can. So I mean, you guys have been part of this adoption journey even before, you know, we picked up Huxley throughout the whole process. And you know, with international adoption, sometimes there's unknowns and things that are not transparent on files and things like that. And once Huxley came home, there was a lot more special needs that we weren't aware of.
So when I heard all of the things that doctor was telling us, it kind of went in one ear and out the other. I wasn't in a state of denial. I accepted and took on everything that she said. And I sat down with Jim. I said, you know, worst case situation, if our little boy at one point in his life, he needs to be in a wheelchair and he needed full on care, would you still love him? And we, without a doubt in our minds, we knew no matter what state he came to us, that we would love him.
There was a lot more special needs that we weren't aware of and that we were not told. So over the past few years, Huxley's been in numerous therapies to try to help him with all of his needs. And over the last year has been a more intense therapy that he's been in to try to help him as much as possible with his severe needs. And for us, it's been really hard hearing from the medical professionals a lot of their feedback and things that have been upsetting, really upsetting for us, because this is not what we've ever wanted to hear. We've never wanted to be in this position, and we've been trying to get his needs met and help him out as much as possible. It's really hard, isn't it? I mean, we truly love him.
There's not an ounce of our body that doesn't love Huxley with all of our being. There wasn't a minute that I didn't try our hardest. And I think what Jim's trying to say is that after multiple assessments, after multiple evaluations, numerous medical professionals have felt that he needed a different fit and that his medical needs. I think he also had a hesitation when Huxley got some really bizarre. There was a time in his file where we got a call and they said, oh my gosh, I don't know if you want to still adopt this child.
Yeah, that was hard.
And it scared Jimmy a little bit. I mean, we sat down and we prayed, and it was something that they said that he may be mentally retarded for the rest of his life. Yeah. And I really don't think you need to adopt this child. That's what the physician had told us. And Jimmy, it scared him because he'd never been told. He'd never been told any of this. So I think it freaked him out a little. But it was really cool because we sat down and prayed and we just talked it out loud. What if he is? And then when we sat and said, and then he goes, what is your fear if we were to bring him home and he was? What would you do? What would you do? And he's like, nothing. And I was like, exactly, nothing. Just like our other kids. That after multiple assessments, after multiple evaluations, numerous medical professionals have felt that he needed a different fit and that his medical needs. And they said, oh my gosh, I don't know if you want to still adopt this child.
Yeah, that was hard.
And he needed more.
We haven't made this video yet. It's because we've been trying to protect his privacy, his rights, and also just try to not mess up his future that was laid out in front of us. We've been trying to protect his privacy, his rights. We've been trying to protect his privacy, his rights. We're trying our best to make sure we don't impact that at all by making this video. And
that's why, like, on Instagram and stuff, I've tried to like let you know as little as I could, but I couldn't tell you anymore because I didn't want to mess anything up with what's going on legally, and if I said something, was I gonna mess up things for his future? And it's just been a really hard place to be in, like, because you're grieving. I want to share with you guys, like, I know deep down inside that I don't have to say anything. Like,
And on is we are doing a little fundraiser for little Huxley.
Deep down inside that I don't have to say anything. Like,
And on is we are doing a little fundraiser for little Huxley.
I don't have to say this, I don't have to, but I want to. Like, I want to tell you, you guys have been there for us for so much, and I want to fill you in on what's going on and what hard. Like, do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like, 500%. So when you get like insidious, hurtful comments, it just like really makes it hurt worse. It's not about me at all, but it's just like this journey has been, the last couple months have been like the hardest thing I could have ever imagined choosing to do, because ultimately, after pouring our guts and our heart into this little boy.
The reason why we can't go into detail of what actually transpired is because we're truly going to protect Huxley's privacy and not let people know what happened, everything that went on
To make us make this decision, or to even come to medical professionals with the need to get more help. And
Was I scared of his diagnosis? Absolutely. And I'm still scared of his diagnosis. But I don't care. I mean, that's not gonna stop me. I know he is my son.
Anything that happened in the home that was hard for Hux, that's not fair for me to put out there publicly. That's his privacy. So we're not gonna talk about that. That's not appropriate. Like, and that'll never be appropriate. I didn't adopt a little boy to share these things.
Just so blessed and so excited to share with you guys. Jim and I have decided that
we're gonna
adopt from China. We are going to be adopting a little boy from China.
Publicly, every now and then you may have gotten like a teeny like struggle or like a hardship when I was trying to be like really raw and real, but we haven't intentionally, like day one, intentionally, 95% of the struggles we have never publicly aired, ever, with pure intent of respecting his privacy, not to give you a fake facade or to be lack of transparency, but to respect our son's privacy. And this is all that we're okay with sharing. The reason we haven't updated you sooner is because the medical professionals, the agencies, multiple people have been allowing for Huxley to spend time with some different people to see and to make the perfect match and fit for his now new forever family. From the updates we've gotten from the agency and through the adoption agency, like, they were able to place him in what they felt was literally the perfect match. When we met, like Jimmy said earlier, when we got Hux, we didn't know a lot of these unknowns. And my biggest fear, I told her, you know, this is my biggest fear. I mean, I will obviously take care of that if that's the case that we're dealing with. And which my biggest fear, I will explain that to you. The biggest fear in this whole process is actually dealing with childhood cancer, which, like I said, very scary. When agencies or adoption agencies have more pieces to the pie, or they have more pieces, it makes the matching process a little better, or a healthier match. And they found somebody that they felt would be ultimately the best fit, and he is thriving. He is very happy. He's doing really well, and his new mommy has medical professional training, and it is a very good fit.
And I ask everyone that, watches this video, that supports our family, give us grace, give us the support and the privacy that we need during this time for ourselves and for Huxley.
Please just respect his privacy, and just know that, like, we may come on socials, like for my channel, the reason I started my channel is to be positive and to bring people positivity, even though we're struggling, and that when we talk about Hux, it's a huge wound for us. Just because I may be positive on my stories or be having fun, doing something fun, doesn't mean that I'm not, like, still horribly hurting. And the same for Jim. So, like, just please have grace with us, because even though we don't share that publicly, we are still struggling. I mean, we're going to be heartbroken for a very long time.
Absolutely.
So thank you for everything, and we just really appreciate all of your support and kindness, but just please respect our privacy.
And respect his too.
Welcome back to my channel. Today, Jim and I have a very big surprise and secret that we want to share with you guys. There has been something that we have been
hiding for about a month
and we're really just so blessed and so excited to share it with you guys. Jim and I have decided that
we're gonna
adopt from China. We are going to be adopting a little boy from China. Jimmy came up to me. And, like I said, we had read a book together, we had gotten lots of information, and he looked at me and he said, "I'm ready." And I just ran up to him, jumped on him, and hugged him so hard. I knew exactly what he meant, and I couldn't quit crying. I literally cried and cried, and I'm gonna try not to cry in this video, but I cried and cried, and my heart just it was so incredibly full. It was just a sensation that I hadn't felt before. I was just so excited with joy. So we went off and we sent all of his file information to a physician, and we got his response back in 12 hours. So with his response, he was very honest, very thorough, highly, highly recommended by two of my girlfriends that have used him for several adoptions. He flies to China a bunch, and he does operations on kiddos that need special needs. He has his own foundation that helps kiddos in the adoption organization. He's just really, really awesome. And he really was point blank with it. He said, I'm not seeing any red flags with this kiddo. I think that this is, just as it seems, and it's super simple, and that's that. You just have to monitor and you're good to go. There's no need for anything. There's no need for an operation. There's no need for absolutely anything. He said, however, you could be dealing with something much more significant and much more serious, but I don't believe that to be the case. He did tell me all of the what ifs, all of the scare bears, if you will. These are all the scary potential possibilities. And, it was hard to hear the words when he laid out the specific words of the scary possibilities. Meantime, we got a second doctor's opinion, or just recommendation, and she was so encouraging. We had to schedule a date. We didn't get a chat with her for a couple days because she had a really busy schedule. And seriously, we were looking for her to say similar things to the first doctor, but her thought process was even more I'm not worried at all about this little boy. Right now, I don't see any red flags. I'm not even raising an eyebrow. She's honestly, this is what I think it is. And when she said what she thought it was the exact thing I've been praying for it to be. I know it's so confusing because I'm not telling you the specific diagnosis, and I apologize for you. I apologize about that. I literally can't for safety reasons yet. But she said exactly what I was hoping it for it to be, and she had no idea that I had not talked to her prior, so that was just it was a huge sigh of relief just to see another person. And she's like, my biggest fear, I told her, you know, this is my biggest fear. I mean, I will obviously take care of that if that's the case that we're dealing with. And which my biggest fear, I will explain that to you. The biggest fear in this whole process is actually dealing with childhood cancer, which, like I said, very scary. I also wanted to give a big thanks to Credit Sesame for working with me in today's video. I will have a link to their site in the description box below, and with that link, they will give you an absolute free credit score report. Let you know where you stand in the financial world. If you have any loans or any debt whatsoever, it'll lay it out almost like a financial planner or a financial coach and tell you different ways to improve your credit score and things of that nature. I feel like it's a very beneficial tool, and it can be really helpful, especially if you're focusing on paying off debt or if you want to improve your credit score in order to have a little bit more leverage. Having a good credit score is super important. On is we are doing a little fundraiser for little Huxley. It's done. We are going to be revealing Huxley's picture to you guys and to the world, and we're so excited to share our little boy with you guys. Just so tremendously excited. We'll have a link to the fundraiser if you guys want to donate in the description box below, but we have a 1,000-piece puzzle, and every time someone donates, each puzzle piece is worth $5. Every time someone donates, we start putting the puzzle pieces together, and every single person that donates, your name is going to go into our son's baby book, that one day when he gets a little bit older, he can hold that little baby book and look through the names and look through the little messages you guys wrote and just see all the people that generously helped to bring him home. So please, please, please do not feel obligated. I just wanted to let you guys know of this fundraiser if it's something that you're like, hey, I would love to help out. I don't know if adoption's in our future, but I'd love to help you on this journey. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description box below if you want to be part of this. I don't see anything wrong with him. He looks perfect to me. And then when she got the imaging, her optimism went down significantly. And it's nothing against this physician, you know, she's just listening to what other doctors, other neurosurgeons and neurodevelopment specialists are telling her. But her prognosis and everything for our son just went drastic. She kind of almost discouraged us from adopting him, like saying that this is going to be severe, this is going to be a lot, you know, we don't know what unknown elements could be. And for us, it was hard. It was hard to hear somebody say that. But for me, more than anything, I go from one diagnosis to a totally different diagnosis. But immediately when she gave me another diagnosis, I looked at the bright side. I was like, you know, that could be awesome. There could be so many good things about that second diagnosis. And we asked for a couple more videos from the foster mama that is taking care of our little boy right now. And she provided them, and if anything, my child is not returnable. Do not click ahead 1 second. I want to thank every single person who has generously donated to our fundraiser. We were doing a fundraiser on the last adoption update, and we've gotten half to the halfway point. We had a 1,000-piece puzzle fundraiser where every single person that donates and purchases a puzzle for $5, your name goes into our son's baby book, and also every single person that donates for the fundraiser, you're being entered into a private giveaway that only the people that donate get entered into, which we're really excited because we're kind of planning all of the little details and everything of that. and I'm excited to kind of give back to the people that were so generous and so kind. We still have 500 slots open, and once those 500 slots are closed, we are shutting down the fundraiser. So if you're interested in being part of that, I will have information to the fundraiser listed below. Which really tugged at my heartstrings. My son is with a foster mama, but she said, you know, even if he has a decent foster mama or a really good one, he's never been somebody's baby ever. He's never been cooed and cawed over or loved like you would if it was your real baby. And she encourages us when we bring him home to coo and caw and make a big deal over the little things like, oh yay, you know, just make those sounds and make him feel special and really honor him in every way. Just make him feel like he is important and valued. And I'm going to address it, but how much does it cost and why? And can you pay it in little pieces, or how can you pay it? So adoption is pretty expensive, and it can be, what we're doing is the China International Adoption. So it can be as cheap as $25,000 or as expensive as $45,000. It depends on your travel situation. The agency and a couple other little things. So ours, since we're taking a little bit more people, ours is going to be a little closer to that $40,000 range, which is really expensive. And you can pay it in parts. So instead of having it be one lump sum, the second you walk in, you need to pay all this money. A lot of times it's broken into like $3,000 or $2,000 increments. So you kind of pay as you go. We are not doing this, but some people have done this and it's really helped them. You can pay some of the process with your credit card if like you wanted to like pay part of it but you couldn't pay the other part. So I'm not trying to advocate for any financial advice. I'm just saying that there is other options, and it's really nice because adoption's really expensive because there's so many legal steps and you have to pay so many people in between. One of the cool things is there is a really nice tax credit that they help you out with in the end that will reimburse you. I think it's like $14,000. So it's not usually as bad once you get that back, but it's just painful in the moment because it's just like, dang, this is a lie, you know. But
the other thing too
it's so worth it.
Yeah, and then some children too, depend on their conditions and issues. Sometimes there's grants associated too that those agencies will give. So if you adopt that child,
we actually got lucky with Huxley, so our process would have been a little bit more expensive, but we got a grant for him, a small grant that helped because of his medical condition.
Yeah, so that's, every child in the world deserves a parent,
and he's it. But I just have to bring him home. He's in my heart, and he's our kid. Like, he is our kid.
It was almost like a carelessness. Like, I don't care. Like, before, in the beginning of the process, I was like so worried and like, you know, obviously that's my boy regardless, but like I just would say, oh, I hope it's not super bad, or, you know, whatever I would say. And now it's just like, I don't care. I really don't care. Give me my baby and let's go and rock this. And like, it doesn't matter what you have or what diagnosis you have. It doesn't define who you are. And I'm just really excited to meet him.
I also want to let you guys know that I'm filling out his baby book right now. So if anyone wants to leave a private message for Huxley for me to add to his baby book, address it in the comments below, like do Dear Hux, and then kind of leave a little message, and I would be happy to add that to the baby book. One of the hardest things about our first week in China was Huxley grieved so hard. And since on that gotcha day, Jimmy had to hold him because he was so strong and I couldn't physically hold him any longer. He started to look at Jimmy as his comfort person because he was strong, he was always holding him, and he started taking care of him. You know, from those first couple hours that we had him as our son in the hotel room, he initially took to Jimmy because Jimmy is obviously doing those things for him.
dark.